Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mike Gormley Show and our guest Ann McCue, originally from Australia, more recently from Nashville. Um, Australia to Nashville, we were talking about before the commercial, we were talking about Girl Monster in Australia. And then there was another Australian band that basically got you to America. That was, I've forgotten the name of the band. What was that band?
It was called Eden, aka.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, you were brought over by CBS, I think, records, and you did Lilith Fair a couple of times. It was an interesting period and an interesting band at that time.
Yeah.
Um, but then you broke off and started doing your own music, right?
Yeah, I'd already made a CD of my own music, and I was walking down the street one day, really broke, depressed, having the worst year of my life, and I ran into a friend, and he goes, "There's this band looking for a female guitar player who could sing backing vocals," and I'm like, "Sure, I'll do it." And I got the gig, and we got signed over here. We ended up on Columbia Records, and yeah, we toured all over in the Lilith Fair, and then it just wasn't going. It was one of those bands that gets signed and they're not going to release your album. So I waited around, and then I was like, oh, I'll go back to my own stuff. So I got offered
Yeah.
a deal with Relentless Records, when we were working together, and so that album, I finished my solo album, first solo album.
It's a really good album.
Oh, thank you.
It's got uh, great songs, and you toured with Lucinda Williams quite a bit in those days.
Yeah, Lucinda Williams a lot. Then Hart came to see her, and Anne and Nancy Wilson came to see Lucinda. They in Seattle. They invited me on tour with them. I did shows with Richard Thompson and Paul Kelly and Graham Parker as well. So it was a great era. Roll came out, and
I like the Heart story.
mm,
They saw you not they went to see Lucinda, I assume,
yeah,
and you opened for Lucinda. They didn't know who you were. They didn't know how to find you. They it took quite a while. They finally somehow found you and took you on tour for a couple of months. But they had to hunt you down. They didn't even know your name, I believe. That somehow they
mm,
are true.
I don't know the background story. Um,
Ah.
I just know that I ended up on tour with them as well, and it was great.
Well, that's part of the background story. I thought it was a very cool story that they really had to work at finding you to get you to tour with them. So it's quite an accolade to have from that particular band.
Yeah,
And you worked with them for a couple of months, right?
I did a few tours with them, a few dates, and a lot of dates with Lucinda, and yeah, so it was a great era, the early zeros for me,
Uh-huh.
of my career, if you want
Mhm.
to call it that.
What do you mean? You've got how many records out now?
This is my eighth record.
Yeah, that's called a career.
Okay.
It, it left it left Hobbyland a long time ago. It may have had a break in the middle, but
Yeah.
that many recordings is uh, is impressive. When we came back in, there was a song called "Feeling All Right Now."
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
how is that true? Are you feeling all right now?
Well, it was meant to be true. After the last election, it was meant to be true, and it wasn't true. But it will be true one day. We will all be feeling all
Oh,
right again.
I'm sorry to hear if you're not feeling all right.
Well, I feel all right if I don't focus on politics and the news, because
Yeah,
the
true.
world is in a dastardly, dastardly state. It's like, how did we get so regress so far? But we'll be feeling all right one day. You know, ding dong, the wizard will be gone. The wizard
Yeah,
is.
I think it'll all work out in the long run, but we got work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's important to try and be happy at this time. We can't just soak in all the bad news all the time. You've got to focus on personal happiness and what you can do in your community You know, for climate change, there's a million things you can do: composting, eating less meat, um, just those two things alone, driving less. You know, we have a big stake in this, and if we
Uh,
focus on things we can do rather than things we can't change, I think everyone will be a bit happier.
is it, does that motivate you, or does that kind of de depress you and stop motivation? It sounds like it's motivating you, but that gives you inspiration.
Yeah, knowing that I can make a difference by not eating meat and making sure I'm not putting my veggie scraps in the trash. I mean, that sounds like a small thing, but it's huge. That's putting veggie scraps in the trash is one of the biggest things that causes methane in the atmosphere. And then
Mm,
I teach guitar now. I teach adults and children, but having those children in my life and knowing that they're growing up and they need a future, that's what really motivates me. I mean, you have grandkids and you want them to have a great future, a world to live in.
of course.
Yeah, so that's the main motivator for me.
You getting feedback like that? You getting feedback that some of your work is helping people?
Well, I hope I do. The more people that hear the album, I want them to hear the good vibes. You know, I want to send out good vibes into the universe and people
Uh,
to feel the good vibes and remember what music, you know, can do to make you happy. It makes me really happy to listen to good music, and it changes my whole life when I put it
yeah,
on. It's very profound, and I think music is, we hear so much music, we hear too much music in the supermarket, at the gas station, it's everywhere, and you don't want to hear that music. It's not music you chose to listen to. So
yeah.
when you can, if you can make some time to put on music you love, maybe when you're cooking dinner or whatever, and really just let that music soak into your soul, because that's what music's for.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Use of it that way.
Mm.
You produce this album, or you co-produce this album, right?
Well, I've co-produced it with Jane Nightshade, who is
And
who is
who is
the
Jane
main
Nightshade?
character. Well, she's the main character in my forthcoming novel.
I see.
Yeah, but what happens is because I played most of the
You know,
instruments.
there is an author, actual author named Jane Nightside, uh,
Nightshade.
Nightshade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh well, I might have to change it. But anyway, I guess I can keep it. I've had it for 40 years now. That name. Anyway, because I played most of the instruments, I played the guitars, the bass, keyboards, etc. It's good to imagine you're a different person each instrument you play. Otherwise, everything's going to sound the same. So when I was
Hmm.
playing the bass, I was imagining what would Paul McCartney do, and I was just trying to be like Paul McCartney. And then when I'm playing keyboards, I'm not a keyboard player, so that helps because I'm not very good at it, and it's very simple and poppy sounding. And so, but having different, like having a co-producer who doesn't really exist sort of adds a fun element to the album because it's meant to be kind of psychedelic and strange. And if you read the credits, you'll see from the credits that uh, if you just got to read them to understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, whatever you say. I'm with you, whatever you say.
It's a good attitude, Mike.
Um, it's are reviews coming in, or how is your
Yeah.
so you I didn't find it on Spotify, this new album. Is that in the works, or what's happening there?
I'm just releasing singles on Spotify, so this is the new single came out last Friday, just a couple of days ago. Shadow Lane, and so
Uh,
that'll be the second single from the album, and I'm putting it on the streaming services. I don't really want the whole album on the streaming services, and I'm just releasing it a song at a time more as a
why is that?
public.
Why is that?
There's no, it's an empty process. Too many people spend all this time making an album and they put it on Spotify and that's it. Like
Yeah.
you've just thrown it's like throwing it in the trash in a way, unless you've got $1 million to promote it. So I'm using Spotify more as a publicity tool to get people to hear songs off the album, and then hopefully if they like it they'll come to my website or Bandcamp or YouTube or whatever and get to know it that way without ruining it by giving away the whole album all at once. Because you're basically giving it away when you put it on Spotify. You're not getting anything back.
I don't know. We have a commercial to go to, and I'm not sure. Last time we went to commercial was a song called Gone, and then we came back with a song called Feeling All Right Now, and now
Yeah.
we're going to go out with a song called Make Our Escape. I'm not sure if you're trying to give us a message here or not, but uh, we are going to commercial. We are escaping to a commercial. It's the Mike Gormley Show. Please come on back. Who knows what the next song will be called? See you later.